Hello friends, I'm Dr. Gunjan Gupta from Skin Concepts Noida. Today I'm here to talk about hair care. Hair are our crowning glory. They add to our appearance and are a part of our personality. But many times, in order to have beautiful long hair, we end up damaging them. In my earlier video, I had spoken about basic skin care, and today I will be talking about hair care. Before I begin, I would like to go over the structure of hair in brief. The hair consists of three segments: the hair shaft or the strand that we see on the surface, the hair root extending from the surface to the hair bulb, and the lowermost end, situated deep in the dermal layer of the skin from where the hair grows out, is called the hair bulb. The hair bulb is the growth zone. A tubular structure surrounding the hair bulb is called as the hair follicle. The cells in the hair bulb multiply and divide and move upwards. As they move upwards, they get deposited by a protein called keratin, and they mature and die. These dead cells then form the strand. So the cells that we see on the surface are only dead cells. The hair bulb also has melanocytes, which imparts color to these dividing cells depending upon our genes. Underneath the hair bulb is the dermal papilla, which provides the blood and nerve supply to the hair. So the important points to note are: the nutrition is derived from the blood supply underneath and not from things that we apply on the hair shaft. Most of these products do not have the ability to get absorbed through the thickness of the skin to reach the hair bulb. 2. The newer hair growth occurs from underneath the scalp and not from the lower end. 3. The hair color is also decided in the hair bulb itself. The hair shaft consists of three layers: inside out, the medulla, the cortex, and the cuticle. The cuticle is multi-layered. The thickness varies from person to person depending upon whether we have fine hair or thick hair. The cuticular cells are rich in a protein called keratin. This fibrous protein is held together by bonds. There are mainly two types of bonds: the hydrogen bonds and the sulfide bonds. The hydrogen bonds are weaker and can be altered by heat, humidity, etc. The sulfide bonds are much stronger and need chemicals to dissolve them. The cuticular cells, the keratin, and its bonds are responsible for the strength, elasticity, and the texture of the hair, and most of the products that we use act on these properties. Coming on to hair care, most of us follow a basic routine of oiling, shampooing, and conditioning. Oil is a traditional method of preconditioning your hair. It is more prevalent in the Indian subcontinent. Most of the other countries do not have the culture of oiling their hair. The oil is to be applied half an hour to 1 hour before shampooing. Do not leave it overnight, as that will not give you any added advantage but only make you prone to back acne or hairline acne. You can choose an oil of your own because that is not very critical. The frequency of oiling will depend upon the kind of hair that you have. If you have very dry hair, you could oil once or twice a week. Also, it is important to understand the oil and its accompanying massage at best play a minuscule role in hair growth. Oils condition the scalp, skin, and the hair. The nutrition is derived from the blood supply underneath for growth, and not from these oils, as these oils do not reach to the level of the hair bulb. For similar reasons, oil has no role to play in the prevention of premature graying. Also, it is important to understand that oiling is not mandatory. We should know when not to oil. You should avoid oiling in case you have any problem on the scalp skin, for example, itching, dandruff, folliculitis, fungal infection, etc. Also, if you have a very oily scalp which feels sticky on the second day of shampoo, avoid oiling. Also, in case you are using any hair growth serums prescribed by your doctor, you need to avoid oiling. So coming on to the next step, shampooing. Just like the skin of our rest of the body, the scalp skin also accumulates dust, grime, sebum, sweat, etc. and needs to be cleansed with a shampoo on a regular basis. Shampoos need to be applied in gentle circular motions on the scalp skin. If you have long hair, do not apply shampoo at the lower ends. The lower end of your hair are the oldest part. They are prone to breakage and dryness. Once you apply the shampoo on the scalp skin, it will get rinsed along the length of your hair, and that will be adequate to clean the lower ends. The frequency of shampoo will depend from person to person depending upon your lifestyle and your type of hair. In case you have very oily scalp, you can wash 2 to 3 times a week. In case of dry, you can apply a shampoo once or twice a week. You can even shampoo daily if you move outdoors a lot, you sweat a lot, you are a regular gym goer, etc. So the thumb rule is wash whenever you feel your hair is unclean and sticky. Do not be very rigid in your schedule of shampooing. The shampoo needs to be rinsed off with normal to lukewarm water. The choice of the shampoo is very important. No shampoo is the best for all hairs. Each product gives different results in different hair types. Most of the times we'll need to try and test several shampoos before we decide which one works best for you. These shampoos contain surfactants or detergents, conditioners, perfumes, preservatives in varying concentrations, and you will have to choose one that suits you. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be taking this up in detail in my coming videos. Coming on to conditioning, it is also important to note that shampoos have no role in prevention of hair fall. There is no such thing as anti-hair fall shampoo. Coming on to shampoo, because it's just a cleanser. Coming on to conditioners, conditioners are a must. Do not skip them as they help in improving the manageability of your hair. Apply the conditioner at your lower end of the tresses and work your way upwards up to 2 to 3 inches away from your scalp. Conditioners need to be rinsed off with cold or normal water. After conditioning, let your hair air dry whenever possible. This allows the moisture to soak in. If you are in a hurry, you could use a blow dryer 15 to 20 centimeters away from your scalp at normal settings instead of heat settings. If you have very long hair, you could wrap a towel around your hair to absorb the excess moisture. Some people prefer microfiber towels available in sports stores to prevent breakage. You could use an old cotton t-shirt also. Once they are partially dry, detangle them using your fingers or a white tooth comb. Do not pull or tug, else it will lead to breakage. If you are finding it difficult, you could use a leave-in conditioning serum to detangle them. Never use a rubbing action to apply any hair product, as that also leads to breakage. Once they are partially dry and untangled, let them dry and then comb your hair. I mention this specifically for people with thick wavy hair who do not feel the need for combing. Combing will help you spread out the sebum from the scalp skin evenly onto your hair. But the advice about 100 strokes a day is a myth, as too much of brushing will only lead to breakage. Keep changing your hairstyles. Don't keep them tied and pulled back all day long to preserve your frontal hairline. Loosen your hair a little at bedtime. Use covered rubber bands. Invest in good quality heating appliances. The inferior quality ones will give uneven heat and lead to breakage and burns. As I mentioned earlier, it is best to let them air dry whenever possible. But if you're using heating appliances, try to limit the time of contact of your curling irons, rods, dryers, etc. Use them at the lowest setting. Go for infrequent hair treatments. Try to increase the time between your hair touch-ups. Try not to color your hair to a color lighter than your own, as that will involve bleaching the hair completely before giving it a new color. Go for only one treatment at a time. For example, if you're going for coloring, wait for a while, for a couple of weeks before you go for smoothing. In case you're recovering from any illness, wait for 3 to 6 months before going for hair treatments, as during this time you're prone to breakage and hair fall. In case you wear hair extensions, try to go for lightweight ones for a maximum of 3 months, and they should be done professionally. Coming on to, you go for regular haircuts to get rid of those split ends. Protect your hair from excessive exposure to sunlight and wind by covering them up when you're outdoors for very long hours. Use caps, scarves, whatever. The hair are a reflection of our general health. For that, you need, for a shining, beautiful hair, you need a good, healthy body. And for that, you need a healthy, balanced diet rich in iron, proteins, minerals, and vitamins. In case you feel your oral intake is inadequate, contact your doctor for oral supplements. Thank you.